Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, my co-host Aurelio Martinez. This is our third and final segment of our first broadcast, which we telecast on IBTV and Roku.
That's right.
Right, Roku.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can find this and
YouTube?
other boxing programming exactly on YouTube, Roku platform, the worldwide, and IBTV.us. Okay, it's not .com, it's .us. IBTV.us. So
Okay.
you're getting popular, man. You're getting popular.
It's about time, man. I got a face for radio, no doubt about that.
Shit.
So we'll see how things keep going. But anyway, let's talk about, this is our open discussion. I'll start off because I have two things that I'm really happy to talk about. First is that these two former amateur standouts. One had a good weekend, one had a good weekend, but not a W in the column. The first one, let's talk about Katie Taylor from Ireland. Highly decorated amateur, fantastic boxer. Carried the torchbearer for Ireland Olympic Games. Man, radio, tremendous ambassador for women's boxing.
Good.
This weekend she got the vacant WBA World Lightweight title.
Nice.
So she's a world boxing champion. I remember her from years ago. For you people that in Colorado know Carrie Berry. Carrie's still here. She's up in Boulder. She has a gym, the Corner Boxing Club.
Yep.
Yeah, but she fought Katie Taylor, and Katie Taylor is tremendous. It was good to see that. The other thing we had is our own Robert Brandt. And Robert Brandt, lives up in Minnesota. But he went over, he was a participant in the World Boxing Series Super Middleweight 8-man tournament.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And he made the last quarterfinal. He fought Jürgen Bremer, who is from Germany.
Yeah,
But let me tell you,
tough
Bremer is
task.
38 years old, has had a total of 51 fights.
Been around. Yep.
35 of them by knockout.
Heavy-handed.
And Robert Brandt went the distance with him, but he came away with a loss. But I'm telling you, this loss doesn't hurt him because it's a growing, maturing process for Robert. Just to be a part of that means that all eyes are on him. He didn't get stopped by a guy that's heavy-handed and 38 years old.
Yep.
I'm very proud of Robert, and like I said, I met him many years ago, and really a good kid, and glad to see him. He'll take this loss and turn this into a long-range positive in his career.
Well, and I think that's good in a sense that, all these youngsters coming out, now they're getting to the point where, I need to prove myself, okay? They're getting away from that ugliness that we got into where they have to fight in a protective manner where they got to protect that O.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's kind of really shut down a lot of fans and shut down a lot of everyone because people are tired of seeing somebody with an undefeated record, and they really haven't fought anybody. And now we got this new group of people that have just come out in the past 3, 4, 5 years that are going back to that old school, saying, "Hey, I believe in myself." Just like Robert. I mean, you go out there and if you get a loss, you get a loss, but it's not going to detour me from being the best in the business. So I really like that. As a matter of fact, you can take a number of fighters that are on our destructive dozen list, and you'll see they all got very good fights coming up, and they're taking that same avenue where, hey, I'm going to make it in this game. Okay, if I make it in the game, then I'm going to make money, but I'm not going to sit around and let 4 or 5 years go by to protect my W.
Well, you can put that, as far as I'm concerned, squarely on the lap of your boy Floyd Mayweather. He's the one who made everyone feel like the O is the be-all, end-all of boxing, and it's not. You can look at all the former world champions, and you only had one, was the Rocky, was the only one that retired with an undefeated record. All these other guys, you can look at Floyd Patterson, Ali, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson. All these guys had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses on the record, but that does not take away from them being great.
Well, see, now we're coming into a different era. Floyd came into light during a time in boxing where there really wasn't a whole lot of competition up and coming, and the older fighters were already fading. Okay, he did real
Knocked
good.
them off.
He took good by taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Where you take the good names, but they were way past their prime.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just good business because he just came in. that's not going to happen with today's fighters because too many good, talented fighters coming up out there now that you got to worry about whoever's in front of you now. You know, it's if it's someone that's coming up today, you've got to fight to win.
Yeah,
so
no doubt about it.
So I think we're looking at that. I think we're looking at some real good things to come out of boxing. So
okay, so let's talk a little bit about. We have some time, so let's talk a little bit about your own. You know, I think a lot of the guys have forgotten all about, you know, the USBL boxing.
That's right.
Talk about the USBL boxing league.
USBL will also be featured on IBTV.
For those that don't know, what is USBL?
It's the United States Boxing League. We started that organization 6 years ago, going into our seventh year, and the reason we started was to give an avenue to the amateur fighters to make it into the professional scene. Okay, there's always been a hardship there, a bump to get over with USA Boxing, because USA Boxing is really, they're in a mode where they cater to the kids, and when the fighter gets to be an adult, when he wants to make a turn, he's still fighting in these tournaments that are basically designed for the younger kids, and it doesn't prepare them for the turnaround into professionalism. Also, they tie the hands down that if you're not a citizen, they kind of shut the door on you. Okay, and that's okay. That's the way they conduct their organization. But the USBL is open to all boxers, and we're actually not really into the kids. We don't have kids. We're into the semi-pro where the boxers fight as a professional, but it's not a professional fight. They fight without the headgear, smaller professional style gloves, not the big spongy gloves you find in amateurs. And they can take the semi-pro and they can fight in that league for as long as they want. And when they decide they're ready, their trainers to turn pro, they will be well prepared to get into the ring as a professional.
Okay.
Very good avenue for any boxer out there. So,
and this is in the elite class.
Yes.
What's the age? 17 to 40? Anywhere?
Above 17.
Above 17, and that's what you're really mainly focusing on, is the kids that are 17, 18 years old, that don't want to be, for lack of a better term, hamstrung by USA Boxing, going by their rules and their, you know, they have their select guys that they like to go. So you guys at USBL, the whole intent is to give these other boxers an avenue to turn pro.
See, and I think
not to fight in the Olympics, but to turn pro.
And I think people don't understand that the USA Boxing is basically based to get people to fight and represent in the Olympics. Okay, so that's what they do. Okay, where we have another avenue where we're preparing boxers to get a professional boxing career. Okay, so we have nothing to do with getting anyone into the Olympics. That's USA Boxing, but we do prepare them for boxing. You can take an adult, let's say a guy that's 16, 17 and barely starts boxing. Well, he don't have the time to like these kids that come in at 8 and 9 years old to go through the system and gain experience. So they can get into the semi-pro league and actually get pro experience before they turn pro. Very, very, very good avenue for our adult boxers.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that USBL in no way is sanctioned by USA Boxing.
No.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, they're kind of an adversary. Is that what? What it would be?
And we bumped heads quite a bit before when USA Boxing had Martino. Mike Martino at the helm. I mean, a lot of threats, a lot of ugliness, but I think Martino just did not understand the concept of USBL. He actually saw them as he saw us as an organization that was trying to overthrow USA Boxing, and I think he just panicked, and he was in a position to pump out his chest, and we went through some ugly conversations. Got to a point where it was getting ready to get legal, but luckily they started to understand that that's not what we're about.
Well,
So-
just real quick before we end up this segment, have you had any conversations with the new executive director of USA Boxing, was Mike McAtee?
I have not, and I don't think
Any conversations with USA Boxing President John Brown?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
I think now they finally realize what we're doing is completely separate for what they do.
And they're just going to leave you alone.
Well, I'm hoping they support us. To be honest with you, throw their support, because we in no way get our roadblock to them in their program to get amateurs into the Olympics, and we're actually good for the boxers. As a matter of fact, next year USBL will start with two teams, two leagues, an Eastern and a Western team that will actually start to compete, and we'll come up with the championship, USBL championship. So look forward to it. It's really going to be something good to look forward to.
Well, anything that'll help our boxers, young, old, in between, hey, I'm all for it. So
That's right.
let's all keep our eyes open, keep your fingers crossed that, this all worked out for the benefit of our young boxers. And that'll be it for our third segment of our new Inside Boxing Throwdown telecast that will be televised on YouTube, on IBTV, and then
.us.
Roku, IBTV.us, and then Roku. All right?
Right, good.
All right, radio.
Till next week, keep them hands up, baby.
Keep 'em up, baby.